Okay. I hope this presentation is visible to you now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Yes,
a very
ma'am.
good morning, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, a very good morning, everyone. I welcome you all for the Strength of Materials lecture series with the code 18CV32. So, to have a brief brush up, the concepts which we have learned in yesterday's class is we had learned about sign conventions regarding shear force bending moment diagram, and we have learned the procedure to draw SFD and BMD, that is shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. And we have also learned regarding the sign convention procedure as well as the derivation, that is the relationship between shear force bending moment and the load intensity W. So can anyone tell me what's the relation between W and shear force? What's the relationship between intensity and the shear force which we have derived in yesterday's class? Yes. Could anyone tell me what's the relationship between F and W? That is shear force and bending moment. Fast. Yes. Please mute yourself. Can I get the answer from somebody? Yes? No, if you don't know, you can say just simply no. At least I can understand that you are able to hear my voice. You remember yesterday's derivation.
Intensity as a strength, ma'am.
Sorry, intensity?
Having a strength, ma'am.
No. What I'm asking is, we have derived a small formula regarding relationship between W and shear force, right? So what is that first formula which we have derived? W and F. Do you remember? Okay, fine.
W is equal to D by dx.
Yes, very correct. May I know who is this?
Mega, ma'am.
Mega. Okay, fine. So W is dF by dx. In the sense, the rate of change of shear force will give you intensity of the load. Suppose if I give you an equation of shear force, okay, say suppose 5x square plus 6x is equal to 2. If this is an equation of a shear force at some point, then if I ask you to calculate the intensity, then you can simply differentiate, then you can get back me the value for intensity of the load W, right? So that's the meaning of the relation of the load and the by another formula, that is relationship between bending moment and shear force. Can anyone define me what's the relationship between bending moment and shear force? M is equal to, if you differentiate shear force, you're gonna get, yes, bending moment, right? So M is equal to dF by dx, which we have learned in yesterday's class. So in previous session, we had also started with a small beam regarding shear force and bending moment diagram. So if you remember, please observe this diagram. We had started with this diagram, a simply supported beam subjected to concentrated load at the center. Now, the way how you get this question is, draw SFD and BMD for simply supported beam subjected to concentrated load at the center. So this might be a question for 8 to 10 marks for you people, right? It can be for VTU as well as internal exam. So how you need to proceed is, first of all, given a diagram, always the first thing is, please check the loads and the span of the beam. Now, what's the load here? It's the concentrated load at the center, right? And what's the span of the beam? It is L. So see, sometimes they may give you the value, or if the value is not given, he'll give you in the form of notations. Here the value is not given. Instead of value, he has given you the load W. And instead of giving you span 3 meter, 4 meter, 6 meter, he has simply mentioned you the length L. Okay, so either it can be a value or it can be a notation. So dependingly, you need to proceed. So anyhow, the procedure remains same, right? So what's the first thing which we have learned? The procedure we have learned in yesterday's class. Always, whenever a beam is given to you, check the load and the span, and the very next thing is to calculate the reaction. Okay, now I have told you in yesterday's class how to calculate the reaction, right? If you don't know, please practice this because you have already learned to calculate the reaction in the first year, right? So RA is W by 2, which we have got, and RB is W by 2. Now, of course, you can calculate this, or the very best way is if it is a simple beam. Okay, now simply supported beam with a concentrated load is a very simple beam, right? Now, check whether it is having symmetry or no. Now, first of all, it is having symmetry. Why it is having symmetry? Because if you cut into two equal parts, sorry, if you cut it, right? If you cut it, you are going to get two equal parts. The meaning is it is having symmetry. And that is why whenever a beam is having symmetry, the tension between two support becomes equal, right? Now here, in this case, W is the applied load. So this W has to be divided equally to both the supports, right? So it is W by 2 at A side, W by 2 at the B side, right? So now we have learned in this previous class. And if you remember, we had also finished shear force diagram, right? What is shear force at A, shear force at B, C, A, B, and C. And dependingly, we have drawn this diagram as well. Have you understood this diagram which we have discussed in yesterday's class? Yes, shear force diagram for simply supported beam subjected to concentrated load at the center. We had discussed how to draw this diagram in the previous class. Have you understood this diagram? Now, if SFD is understood to you, then I'll proceed with the BMD. Is this diagram understood to you, which we have learned in yesterday's class? Now, those who are present in yesterday's class, please answer. Was this diagram understood to you? If this is understood to you, then I will proceed to the bending moment diagram. Yes? And please note, this is one of the important, not only for third semester, not only for the passing of your strength of material subject. It is one of the important concept for the entire engineering. Because based on this SFD and BMD, that is shear force and bending moment for the entire cross section of the beam, we will be designing the beam in the later stage. So that designing is completely related to this shear force diagram. Wherever you have high shear force, high bending moment, there you need to provide maximum steel. Have you understood this diagram?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
please explain it. Ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yes, sorry. Yes, someone said to explain. May I know your name?
Basuraj, ma'am.
Basavaraj. Were you present yesterday?
No, ma'am.
So, Basavaraj, anyhow, I'll explain this, not an issue. But please make sure that every day you need to attend the class because this shear force and bending moment diagram is as such. If you miss any one class, probably you won't get the concept in the next session. At least starting 4 to 5 classes are very important for this particular chapter, right? And these videos will be already uploaded in the YouTube. Please refer to the YouTube channels as well. Okay, the link is already been shared to you. You can refer those links. Those who have not attended the class, you can refer those links and you can learn. Okay. Now, anyhow, this concept is being introduced, is being used in your second IA also. So I'm just hurrying with the concept, right? And this numerical examples I have included in your second internal. So please make sure that you learn well. Okay. So of course, if you have and one more thing, somehow by mistake, if you have not attended yesterday's class, you can refer the videos because it's not able to repeat the entire session of yesterday's class today now. Okay. So if you remember the sign conventions which we have discussed in the yesterday's class, see, now you need to define shear force now. Okay. So to determine shear force, take a section XX here, take a section XX. Now, if you want shear force at A or C, then in between you need to take a section XX. Okay. Now always refer the left side because I am teaching you only the left portion so that you can remember the sign convention very easily. For shear force, left, if you are coming from the left side, then left side upward force is positive, left side downward force is negative. Just remember with this. Left side, upward force positive, downward force negative. If you're coming from the right side, then upward force become negative, downward force become positive. Now always have a habit of at least taking from the left side itself so that upward positive, downward negative can be easily understood, right? Now, so I have drawn a section XX here. Now what I'm doing here is shear force at XX is equal to, okay. Now I have taken a section XX here. Okay, now how many forces you have to the left of the section? How many forces you have to the left of the section XX? You have only one force. What is that force? RA. RA, in which direction it is going? In upward direction. And we know that for shear force, left side upward force is positive. So what I have written here is shear force at XX is equal to plus RA. Right? Now what was RA? W by 2. So instead of writing RA, I have written W by 2. So XX in the sense, left side you have only one point, that is that shear force at A at the support side. So I have written it as shear force at A. Okay. Next thing, to calculate shear force at C, what you need to do is take a section XX here. Take a section XX here. Now refer to the left side. How many forces you have to the left side? If I take a section here, if I take a section here, you can take x1, x1 and x2, x2. Imagine the sections in your mind itself. So now I have taken a section here. Forces you have to the left of the section, two forces. Which are they? One is RA, one is W. RA is going in upward direction, W is going in downward direction. So left side upward force positive, downward force negative. So plus RA minus W. So just observe here. Now instead of writing shear force at XX2, I have written directly shear force at C. So plus W by 2, that is plus RA minus W. You will get minus W by 2. So shear force at C is minus W by 2. And as I have already told while explaining the procedure for shear force, okay. Now between C to B, if you observe this carefully, between C to B, there is no force in between. Now whenever there is no force in between, the shear force always tries to maintain a constant value. Now between C to B there was no force, so if here it is W by 2 means minus W by 2 means even here it has to continue same. So at B side, that is shear force at B, it is minus W by 2. Okay, so here it is minus W by 2. And one more thing, suppose if you are coming from the right side, no, just imagine if you are coming from the right side, okay. If you are coming from the right side, then I would have taken a section here, right? I would have taken a section here if you are coming from the right side. Now observe carefully, after taking a section here, how many forces you have to the right side of my section? How many forces you have to the right side of my section? You have only one force. What is that force? RB. In which direction it is going? Upward direction. And right side upward direction, positive or negative? Please see the sign convention. It is negative. Right side upward force. So it is minus W by 2. Of course, I have not shown the calculation, but I am just telling you another method if you are coming from the right side. Okay, so right side upward force is negative, so minus W by 2. Now you can compare this answer with your previous answer. What the shear force at B is minus W by 2. Now you got this answer. Have you got the same answer if you are coming from the left side? Yes, you have got the same answer. Shear force at B is minus W by 2. So you can do this either from left or right of the section. Definitely you are going to get the same answer. Okay, but I want you to practice with only one direction, because that should not be any confusion. Upward force, positive, negative, and all. Always keep a habit of coming from only one side so that you get acquainted with those forces and directions. Okay. Now once all the shear force is understood to you, okay. Next thing is to draw this SFD diagram. Okay. Now another thing I want to say is, of course, let me explain this diagram and then I'll speak about this. Okay. Now, just draw this diagram. Okay. This diagram, please let me tell you, whenever you have concentrated load, okay, then you're going to get horizontal and vertical lines. That is, you need to join the lines with horizontal. Okay. The horizontal line indicates that there is a concentrated load. Okay. You won't get any inclined line here. If you have concentrated load, then you get only horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, now shear force at, this is my baseline. Okay, please observe my cursor. This is my baseline. Above the baseline, we have assumed positive. Below the baseline, we have assumed negative. You can reverse also. That's not an issue because some textbook will follow their. If you are referring some other textbook, then he may change the directions also. Both are very correct. Okay. Now I have assumed the magnitudes of the forces above the baseline to be positive, below the baseline to be negative. Okay. Now, at the point A, what was the shear force? W by 2. So I have marked the point W by 2 here. Let's not join immediately. Let's keep the point as it is. So this is my point W by 2. Next, what was the shear force at C? It is minus W by 2. So this was my minus W by 2. Next, what was the shear force at B? Once again, you have got minus W by 2. So I have marked all the points now. Now, after marking the points, what I have said is, whenever you have concentrated load, you get only horizontal vertical lines. So from this point, join the straight line up to here, then bring it back down. Okay, so from here to here, you have a straight line, bring it back down. Once again, these two lines should be joined with a horizontal line. Okay, so I hope this point is clear to you. Once again, remember, whenever you have concentrated load, you are going to get horizontal vertical lines for shear force diagram, not bending moment diagram, shear force diagram. Okay, so after writing this, you need to show this magnitude W by 2, W by 2, this is plus and this is minus. And A, C, B, this is how you're going to show SFT diagram. Is this understood to you? Yes? Yes, is this understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine. Okay, fine. Now, one more thing. Now, I'll tell you another shortcut way. Okay, I'll tell you another shortcut way now. See, suppose if you are getting confused with taking the sections and so on. Of course, section you need to take for bending moment diagram. But as far as shear force is considered, okay, instead of taking section, what you do is, see, if you are starting from this point, that is A point. If you are starting from A point, then consider the reaction. When after ending to the point B, do not consider this reaction B. Okay, now this is another shortcut way if you are confused with the sections. Okay, now if you are used to the previous procedure, that's fine. So you can move with that. I'm telling you another way. Now, if you want to calculate shear force at A, at that particular point as well as to the left, just check how many forces you have. At this particular point, you have only one force, and other than that, left side you don't have any force. This side, right? So, and always I'm coming from the left portion. Left side upward force is positive. So what is shear force at A? It is RA. It's only RA. Next, come to the point C. Now, when you come to the point C, again, once again, you need to consider the load which is acting at the point C also. Okay, as well as to the left of the portion. Now, if I want to calculate shear force at C, left of the portion as well as on the point C, how many forces you have? Two forces, plus RA minus W. Correct? Plus RA minus W. So you will get minus W by 2. W by 2 minus W is minus W by 2. So shear force at C is minus W by 2. That's what you have got here. Next, shear force at B. Now, whenever you are calculating at the last point, is this not my last point of my beam? Yes. This is the last point of my beam. If you are coming from A point, if you are coming from the A side, this is my last point of the beam. Then last point of the beam, do not consider this reaction RA. I'm telling you another method. Okay, do not consider this reaction RB if you are coming from A side. Right now, if you are coming from the B side, then don't consider RA in a reverse way. Okay, so now once again, RA shear RB, that is sorry, shear force at B is, what is shear force at B? Just see the left portion. Don't consider this RB, just see the left portion. Left portion, how many forces you have? Plus RA minus W. Plus RA minus W. What's the answer? Minus W by 2. So keep the same answer, minus W by 2 here. Yes, have you understood this? Now only the point what I want to say is, in a shortcut way, if you are starting from A side, consider this reaction. When you are ending at the point B, don't consider this reaction. That's what I'm saying. But otherwise, at each and every point, you should consider the loads which are acting at that point also. Have you understood this? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, same thing, bending moment also. Same thing. You can do it for the bending moment also. Okay, see here. Now let's go to the bending moment diagram. Okay, now let's go to the bending moment diagram. Now this is my bending moment diagram. Okay, now just let me tell you the calculation first, then I'll show you the diagram. So bending moment at xx. First I'll tell you depending on the xx now. Now, where is your point? Now you're coming from the left side always. Okay, now I hope you have understood SFT diagram. Now I am going to the BMD diagram. Where is your section? This is your section XX. Okay, now please remember what is bending moment basically? Bending moment is M is equal to F into D. What is F? Force. What is D? Perpendicular distance between the force and the considered point. Do you know this? You have learnt in first year. Do you remember this? M is equal to F into D. A moment is always equal to M is equal to F into D. Do you remember this?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So always remember, when you are calculating shear force, distance will not come into picture. When you are calculating bending moment, distance will come into picture. Please keep it in mind. Okay. Now, so I have taken a section XX here. Okay, this is my section XX. Just see the left portion. Just see the left portion. How many forces you have to the left portion of my section? Please mute yourself, those who have not muted. Okay, so this is my section XX. How many forces you have to the left of the portion? Only one force, that is RA. And RA is going in upward direction. And remember one thing, in bending moment diagram, upward downward will not come into picture. Upward downward force will not come into picture. What comes into picture is whether it is sagging or hogging, or whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, either you can remember in sagging, hogging or clockwise, anti-clockwise. Yesterday I have shown you the diagram and I have explained you what is sagging and what is hogging. Do you remember that? Yesterday, those who are present, what is sagging, what is hogging bending moment? I have explained to you. Sagging is considered to be positive, hogging is considered to be negative. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay, fine. So now this is my section XX. Left of the portion, I have only one force, that is RA. Okay, now I have told you one more concept in yesterday's class. Wherever the point where you are calculating the bending moment, you should imagine that to be fixed support. Yes, that means you can simply hold it tightly. Now always, whenever you are calculating bending moment diagram for any given beam, you should imagine it always. You should imagine that beam to be very flexible. Okay, that imagination should come in your mind. Then only you will be able to calculate this bending moment diagram very easily. Though some of the formulas may go wrong while writing, but your imagination should never go wrong. Depending on that, you are supposed to draw the diagram. Okay, now, so this is my section XX. I have already told you wherever you are taking section or wherever you are calculating the bending moment diagram, that point should be always imagined to be fixed. Okay, now what you do is imagine this AC beam to be very flexible beam. It is able to twist, able to rotate. Okay, imagine this as a flexible beam. Okay, now this is my RA. XX is here. Imagine this as a fixed support. Apply this RA. Forget of all this C and B. Only apply RA. Tell me whether it is sagging or hogging.
Sagging.
Sagging, very correct. Others?
Sagging.
Sagging, very correct. Now, of course, as few of you said you were absent for yesterday's class, let me show this once again because it is one of the important concept to proceed with my further numerical examples. Okay, see, this is my beam, right? What I said is, wherever you are going to calculate moment, that point, imagine it as a fixed support. Now imagine this as a fixed support. This is my section XX. Where is my RA? This is my RA, right? This is my RA. Okay, now I'm asking you whether it is sagging or hogging. Let me tell you what is sagging as what is hogging. If you are getting your bending moment diagram pattern in this way, if you are getting your bending moment, if you are getting the shape of the deflection curve in this way, then this is taken to be positive, that is sagging. Now, if you are getting it in this way, right? If you are getting it in this way, then this is considered to be negative, that is hogging. This is sagging and this is hogging bending moment. Now what I am doing here is, please observe this figure now. Okay, now I have taken a section XX here. I am applying RA in this way. I am asking you whether it is sagging or hogging. So here XX I have imagined to be fixed support. You should imagine it every time I show you this diagram. This is my first numerical example. That's why I'm just showing it to be fixed support. Now imagine this to be flexible beam, and this is XX. I have taken it as a fixed support. Whenever you apply this RA, okay, when you apply this RA, this beam is going to bend in this way. Is it not? Yes. Is it not? This goes in this way. This is nothing but positive. Why positive? Because this is sagging. Okay, and that's why here shear force at XX is plus RA. And what's the distance between RA and XX? X. Is it not X? Suppose if X is given value, say suppose 2 meter, 4 meter, then you need to substitute. Now here I am taking it as small x. So what's the bending moment at XX? RA into X. Whether it is positive or negative, it is positive. Why positive? Because it is sagging. Have you understood this? It is sagging.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So please note, I have written bending moment here. Okay, as you said, plus RA into X is the bending moment at XX. Suppose this X is 0. At the A point, what is the value for X? Anybody? At A point, what is the value for X?
0, ma'am.
Very correct. At A point, the value of X is 0. So can you tell me what's the bending moment at A?
There is no bending, ma'am.
Excellent. So there is no bending moment. That means at A point, the bending moment is 0. Do you agree for this?
Yes, ma'am.
At A point,
Yes, ma'am.
the bending moment is 0. Yes, right. So that's what I have written it here. See, what I have written here is bending moment at XX is equal to, first I have written an equation for XX. Bending moment at XX is equal to plus RA into X. Right? What is RA? W by 2. That is reaction. So W by 2 into X. So now when X is equal to 0, that means I'm calculating bending moment at A. Right? So when X is equal to 0, it's just like a boundary condition. Okay. So when X is equal to 0, you're gonna get bending moment at A. So what is bending moment at A when X is 0 in this equation? It is absolutely 0. Have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So if you remember, this is my bending moment diagram. Okay. And this is my baseline. Above the baseline positive, below the baseline negative. Okay. Now at A point, if you observe here, I have taken it as 0. Okay, so I hope this bending moment at A is understood to you. Now I'll come to the bending moment at C. Sorry, if I want to get bending moment at C, then I should take a section XX here. Then I should take a section XX here. If I take a section XX here, then the distance from A point to the section XX will become small x. Here I have taken XX, so this distance became small x. But now I'm going to take section XX here, and this entire distance becomes x. Now this you need to imagine. Okay, of course, later on after this concept, I'm going to tell you another shortcut method also. Okay, but let me explain this x method once first. So this is my section XX. From A point to section XX point, I have taken x distance. Now, just observe how many forces you have to the left of the portion. How many forces you have? 2 forces. One is RA, one is W. Okay, now you need to write the equation for bending moment at XX. So, of course, it's not able to show it here. Let me show this in. Now, this is my B. This is my A point. Okay, and this is my RA. Now, here is your W. Okay, and this is your RB. Okay, this is your RB. Now I have taken XX here. Okay, and this entire distance is X now. You can take it as x or you can take it as x2. It is left to you. I am going to take it as x, right? And this is RA, this is RA, and this is RB, okay? And this is RB, RA and RB. And this entire distance is x, okay? And if you remember what was the distance here? This distance is L by 2. Is this L by 2? Yes. Is this L by 2? A to W. Is this L by 2? See, the entire length of the beam is L, A to
Yes,
B.
ma'am.
So what is A to W? It is L by 2. This is a point C. Now I have taken a section here. Now what I am asking here is, what is bending moment at XX? What is bending moment at XX? So bending moment at XX is, just see the left portion. How many forces you have? Two forces. One is RA, one is W. Now, when you are taking only one, first think about RA. Forget of this W. First think about RA. So RA, how it creates a moment about XX? Sagging moment or hogging moment?
Sagging.
Just
Sagging.
sagging moment. Very correct. Sagging moment. So what I should write? Plus RA into X. Is my answer correct? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Plus RA into X. Next. W. What about W? Forget of this RA now. Just apply W and imagine this XX as a fixed support. Just apply W. Whether it is hogging or sagging bending moment.
Hogging minus.
Minus.
Yes.
Very correct. Very correct. So minus. Now, can you tell me what's the distance between C to XX?
C to X is L minus
the-
L.
Not L. X,
X by
C to X. X minus is very correct. X minus
L by 2, ma'am.
L by 2. Very correct. So X minus L by equation W
Yes,
into,
ma'am.
please, and always please remember, use the brackets carefully. Then it will be able to then you will be able to understand very neatly. So W into X minus L by 2. W is the force, X minus L by 2 is the distance. Is this equation understood to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now for this equation, if I want to get bending moment at C, for this equation, substitute. Can you tell me what value I should substitute for X? What value I should substitute for X if I want to get bending moment at C? What is X at C point? It is there in the diagram itself. What is X at the C point? It is there in the diagram itself. Think and answer. What is X at C point from A to C? Where does
X
the X start? Where does the
From-
X starts? It starts
from
from
A.
A point.
From
Right.
A.
It ends at XX. Okay. Now, what I'm asking is, what is the distance between A to C? Or what is the X value from A to C?
L
L
by
by
2.
2.
L by 2. Have you understood this? X distance at C point is L by 2 because X is starting from A point. So in this equation, substitute X equal to L by 2. In this equation, substitute X equal to L by 2 and RA is equal to W by 2. You can do this. Then you will get equation. In this equation, substitute X equal to L by 2. If you're gonna get WL by 4. I want everyone to try this. You're gonna get WL by 4. Okay. Okay. Of course, here I have directly substituted. I want everyone to try in this equation. RA into X, write it down. RA into X minus W into X minus L by 2. Okay. So in this equation, substitute X equal to L by 2. You're gonna get bending moment at C is WL by 4. So here I have written directly in a shortcut way W by 2 into L by 2, that is WL by 4. So bending moment at C is WL by 4. And once again, in this equation, substitute. Can you tell me what's the X value at B point now? What is the value for X at B point? X is starting from No, x is starting from A now. Actually, you have imagined x is starting from A. Where is the starting point of AX? It is A point. I am asking you, at B point, what is x value? What is the total length of the beam?
L.
L. So is it not x is equal to L when at the point B?
How, ma'am?
See, okay. Let me show this. What is the entire length of the beam? L. Correct? Entire length of the
Yes.
beam is L. And x in second case, x is starting from A point. So from A point, what is the distance up to B? From
L.
A to B, L, is it not? So at B point, that is the distance of x is L. Have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in this equation, if you substitute x equal to L, in this equation, if you substitute x equal to L, you will get bending moment at B is 0. Have you understood this? You will get bending moment at B is 0. So here I have written bending moment at C is WL by 4 and bending moment at B is 0. So when you draw this now, how to draw this bending moment diagram for this? When you draw this, see, this is my baseline now. This is my baseline. And from the equation, I got to know that bending moment at A is 0, bending moment at B is 0. Always remember, one more point I'm going to tell you. Whenever you have concentrated load, bending moment diagram will be inclined straight line. Always remember, whenever you have concentrated load, bending moment diagram will be inclined straight line. So what is the bending moment at C? It is WL by 4. Just mark a point here. Now, how do you join this? Join it with the inclined straight line. That's all. And this magnitude from center to the center point, the magnitude is WL by 4. Have you understood this? See, what I want to remember is whenever you have concentrated load, shear force diagram will be horizontal vertical lines. Whenever you have concentrated load, bending moment diagram will be inclined straight line. Have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you another shortcut way for bending moment diagram. Okay. See, the shortcut way is same way which you have done the shortcut for shear force. Same way do it for bending moment also. Now I'm gonna take the point A. Whenever you take the point A, you should consider that force also and left portion force also because A is my starting point. Okay, now A point. Do you have any forces to the left portion? No, you don't have. You have only one force RA. Can you tell me what is the moment of RA at the point A? What is the moment of RA at the point A? M is equal to F into D. F is acting at the point A itself. So what is the moment of RA at the point A? Do you get any D value here? No, D value is 0 here. So can you tell me what's the moment here?
0, ma'am.
0. Is it not? Moment at A point is 0 because RA is in the line of action of force at the point A. Now you have learnt in first year, whenever a line of action of force coincides the moment center, moment becomes 0. M is equal to F into D. When D is 0 means M should be 0. Is it not? This line force is acting at the point A, right? So what you do is consider the point A, observe the left portion, you don't have any force. You have only one force RA and it is acting at the point A, so the bending moment is 0. So here the bending moment is 0. Next, come to the point C. Come to the point C. Once again, observe to the left of the portion. How many forces you have? You have only one force, RA. And you also have this W. But what is the effect of W on the point C? What is the bending moment effect on the point C? W. It is 0.
0.
Very correct. So effect of W on the point C is 0. Bending moment effect on the point C is 0. But left portion you have one force, that is RA. That is W by 2. Now what is the distance between A to C? If you want to take L by 2, very correct. L by 2 is the distance between A to C. Now just take the moment of RA, okay, take the moment of RA to the point C, and you know that it is sagging. When you take the moment between RA at the point C, it is sagging, so plus. So RA into, what is the distance between A to C? L by 2. So what is RA? W by 2. So W by 2 into L by 2, what is the answer? W by 2 into L by 2. What is the
WL by
answer? WL by 4. Very correct. So, what is the bending moment at C? WL by 4. Is this easy?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now come to the point B. I've told you, whenever you have come to the last point, don't consider this RB. Of course, even if you consider, it's going to be 0, but don't consider at the last point B. Okay. Now, see to the left portion. How many forces you have? 2 forces. One is RA, one is W. So now write the equation. What equation you get? Bending moment equation at the B point for both the forces. First of all, RA becomes sagging, W becomes hogging. RA is plus, W is minus. Okay, now take the moment. If you are taking the moment for RA at the point B, what is the distance? From A point to B point, what is the distance for RA?
L.
L,
L,
ma'am.
very correct. Yes, L. So plus RA into L, is my answer correct?
Yes,
Plus
ma'am.
RA into L, is my answer correct? Or plus W by 2 into L, you can write it down somewhere. Plus RA into L or plus W by 2 into L. Next, minus. Why minus? Because W is hogging. Minus W into, what is the distance between C to B? Minus
L by 2.
W, L by 2, very correct. Minus W into L by 2. Minus W into L by 2. Just operate this equation, you will get 0. WL by 2 into L by 2 minus W into L by 2. You will get 0. So what is bending moment at B? It is 0. So which method do you, yes, so which method you feel is easy?
First method only, ma'am.
First one, ma'am.
X, by using X. By using X?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So whichever method you feel easy, you can always use. I hope this problem is understood to you. Bending moment and shear force diagram. See, at the last, I have given you one table. Just remember this table. Just remember this table. Whenever you have point load, what is load, SFD and BMD? Okay, point load in the sense concentrated load. Whenever you have concentrated load, SFD will be vertical horizontal line. How will be your BMD? Inclined straight line. And whenever you get UDL, SFD will be inclined straight line, BMD will be parabola. Okay, and whenever you get UVL, uniformly varying load or a triangular load, SFD will be parabola, BMD will be also a curved line. So this table you just remember so that it becomes easy to draw the diagram. Okay, and I'll give you another homework. The homework I'm going to give you is the same problem. Only thing, please understand this problem. Of course, it is a solved problem. I have already sent you the notes, but I want everyone to practice this. This is a homework to you. So I have taken a beam here, RA and RB. Can you tell me what is the change between previous diagram and this diagram? What is the difference between previous diagram and this diagram? The only difference between previous diagram and this diagram is there W was
distance.
acting at the center. Yes, very correct.
Yes, ma'am.
The W was acting at the center. But here I have taken W not at the center, but at a distance of small a from A to C and small b from C to B. Have you understood this?
Yes,
So this
ma'am.
is the
Yes, ma'am.
only difference. This is the only difference. Rest all the procedure remains same. In fact, the diagram remains same, but only thing is you will not get it at the center. Okay, and here the maximum bending moment, if you remember, please you need to remember this for your entire engineering life. What is the maximum bending moment which you have got for concentrated load at the center? WL by 4. Suppose if W is 10 kilonewton, L is 5 meters, then you should be able to calculate the bending moment diagram or the bending moment value for a concentrated load at the center. And where it is maximum, it is always maximum at the center. Okay, so WL by 4, you need to remember this. And whenever it is not at the center, suppose if your W is not at the center, then this becomes WAB by L. Okay, so practice this. In tomorrow's class, I will take this UDL. Okay, so UDL is also same. If you are able to do, you just proceed, give a try. If you face any difficulty, we'll discuss this in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so is there any queries?
No, ma'am.
So practice this. If you face any difficulty, keep your doubts in tomorrow's session. So in tomorrow, we'll discuss all the doubts which you have. Okay, so that's all for this today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.